Blessed day to all of you. Once again, a warm welcome to Talks with Nalaka. Thank you for following this program and giving your insight, giving your feedback. We are sure that this program has become a huge strength for you in your leadership journey. As always, you know, we interview a person in leadership and we get some leadership principles out of that person that could benefit us in our leadership journey. So today also we have got a special guest with us, but he's not a guest actually, he has been on our program before, but he's here to share a special concept in leadership. If you have heard the term a level 5 leader, that is what we are about to speak today. What is a level 5 leader and how can you become a level 5 leader and what is the significance of a level 5 leader? So let me welcome Mr. Glenn DeMille, who has already been on this program. You know his life story. If you have listened to him, you know how he rose through the ranks and who is now influential person in our country. So in conversation with Glenn DeMille, we are going to speak about what is a level 5 leader and how can this concept be connected with the leadership journey that you are on. So welcome to the program once again.
Thank you.
So let's start with the first question. What is a level 5 leader? How did this concept evolve? How did this concept come into being?
Yeah, thank you Nalaka inviting me again for this program. Actually, level 5 leadership concept came out of the book written by Jim Collins. Now, Jim Collins is one of the very good management specialist, and in 1995 he wrote a book before, Built to Last, and after that book about management and the leadership, he thought that he should see why some of the companies, there are so many companies are good, but some companies are great, and what are the attributes of greatness of those companies. You know that there are 500
Fortune 5.
Yeah, fortune companies. Now all those companies are good, but they are not great. Most of the companies are not great. Now what greatness means, that the companies which can consistent their goodness, their efficiency, effectiveness more than 15 years without getting down, those are the companies we call great companies. Now there is a concept that goodness is the enemy of greatness, because when we are good, we think that is we are good, then it's okay. We are not perceive greatness because we are good. So if we really want to come to greatness, then we have to walk towards greatness from the goodness. Now he took 11 companies, thoroughly examined those companies, those 11 companies selected, the companies which are perform great because 15 years of 15 years continuous greatness, and they study those companies and see what are the attributes of those companies, why they are great. And in that study, Jim Collins come up with the concept that all those companies have a leader who is at level 5, and therefore level 5 leadership came out of that study in 2000, because they have spent 5 years from 1995 to 2000 to study all these companies deeply into the depth of those performance and their how they perform and how they achieve those goals.
Thank you very much. Now you got the understanding about the level 5 leader, how this concept came into being and how it was evolved. Then the second question I have is, if there is a level 5 leader, then there had to be 4 levels beneath them, because there should be a level 1, 2, 3, 4 and then come to 5. So what are these 4 levels and what are they? Can you describe it to us?
Now level 4 is the effective leader. Level 4 means effective leader. He is catalyzed, he is a catalyst to take the resources towards the vision of the company. And level 3 is the effective manager. The manager means he get all the resources of the company, the human resources, financial resources, and those resources he manage towards the achievement of the goals of the company. And level 3 is a team leader. That means he is a team player. He know how to contribute towards the goals of the team, and he contribute his skills and talents and work towards the achievement of the goals of the organization or the company. And level 1 is most effective individual. Now, individuals, they contribute towards the objectives or achievements of the goals of the company or the organization with their talents, their skills, and very effective when they perform within the team. And those are the other levels of the hierarchy, level 1 to level 4. And level 5 is the highest level, and those are the leaders who perform and take the organization from good to great. That is why we call them level 5.
Okay, so now you got the essence of it. Level 1 is an effective person. Level 2 is a team player. Level 3 is management. Level 4 is effective leader. And level 5 is what we are focusing on today. So now you described many elements of all the other 4 levels. When it comes to a level 5 leader, what are the attributes of a level 5 leader? How can we recognize a level 5 leader? Can you just enlighten us on that as well?
Now, when we take a level 5 leader, there are 2 key aspects into that. And that is their professional will and the personal humility. Professional will plus personal humility is the key factors create a level 5 leader. Now, Nalaka, normally we are thinking that the very strong celebrity leaders are the ones who perform well. When it comes to leaders in our society, we look at a person when that person is very, very strong personality and they perform like celebrities, and we think that they are the great leaders. But when Jim Collins did this study, I mean, that concept completely changed. The leaders who really drive their companies and organizations towards the greatness are very, very modest leaders. They don't want to highlight themselves. They are very, very modest. Humility is their main key, characteristic. They don't come to show and talk about their achievements and things, and that is one of the key, characteristic of those leaders. And also, they are ambitious, but they are that ambitious. What they have, the ambitions, they not take for their personal gains, but they really focus those ambitions, their personal ambitions towards the company. That means they really want to achieve what the company needs to achieve, not for themselves. And therefore, they always try to do that, and they are totally concentrate on the achievement of the company. And when it comes to failures, they look at the mirror. That means they look at themselves. They completely take that failures into themselves, their lives. They are not, put that blame into their fellow team members or bad luck or, now normally some leaders, when it comes to failures, they think, no, this happened because of that, because of them, because of bad luck in the market, like that. But these people are not telling that, they completely take that blame into themselves. Look at the mirror. When it comes to achievements, they look at through the window. That means to others, they give that credit to their team members, their workers, the factors, contribute towards that success, like that. And these are very, very important factors of those. And these leaders really working towards the achievements of the company always. They take decisions which are not sometimes very popular decisions. They take decisions which is very much important for the well-being of the company. That means they always look at the people first and then what to do. Who and then what. Now normally people are, if you take the level 4 leaders or the normal leaders, they first look at what to do and then only they go for who they are going to work with. Now level 5 leaders always look at the people first, the correct people in the bus and the people who are not fitting to that out of the bus. And they put the people on this correct seat and then they decide where to go and what to do. Then only they are coming with the visions, missions and all these things. Normal way is that they start with the vision and start with mission and then go for people. And that is the difference between these two levels of leaders. Because they think if we don't have correct people, you can't do anything. Now normally there is a saying that people are the great asset of a company. But they are saying not people, the correct people are the asset of a company. Not wrong people. Wrong people are not asset of a company. But the correct people, right people are the asset of a company. And those are the key attributes of a level 5 leader.
I think that was self-explanatory. Now you know the attributes of a level 5 leader and how to spot one when you see. Now the next question that we have is how do these leaders function within the organization? Are there any characteristics that we can identify or the way they operate? Can we see that pattern and know, hey, this is a level 5 leader, and can we adapt it to ourselves and see, hey, I want to become a level 5 leader, so this is the way I'm going to operate, to perform in my organization. So what are such things that we can look for?
Yeah, the level 5 leaders always looking at the company and they really wants to go from the good level of goodness into the greatness. Now for that, they always thinking the economic engine. Everything they do, they really think about the profitability of the company. Now you know that sometimes we work on a field for so many years and we do not want to change that. Say now a company is working on cultivating coconuts. They always want to cultivate the coconuts, nothing else. Even it is profitable or not, they don't want to lose that because they have done for so many years. But level 5 leaders are not like that. They see the profitability of that area, and if that area is not profitable according to the current standards, they decide to shift the company into another field or another business. That is a big decision now those leaders who have taken to sustain the greatness of those companies. And these level 5 leaders are doing that because they know that decisions are very, very important to take the company into the greatness. Now that is one of the things. And also, they always think about the best people and give them the opportunity to perform on their own. They are not going to put their fingers into all aspects of those people who are working. Because these level 5 leaders, they really want to make the discipline a culture of that company. Now, if you have now we know that most of the companies have disciplines, but very few companies have discipline as a culture. Now, if you have a discipline as a culture, then there is a discipline in thought, discipline in people, discipline in thought, and then discipline in action. Now, when we have discipline in people, you don't need hierarchy. When you have discipline in thought, you don't need bureaucracy. And when you have discipline in action, you don't need very, very strong controls, because people work in discipline and it is a culture of that company, and therefore they perform well and the company is going smoothly forward, because everyone knows that they have to contribute towards the achievement of the company, and that their inside characteristic. That means no one is going to come and put that onto their heads, but they know that within themselves. That is internalized concept for each one of those workers in that company. And therefore, because those are right people, I told that those leaders keep only right people. If the right person is there, that means they discipline themselves to work towards that. And then these companies are performing well, they are performing efficiently, they are performing effectively. And then they going towards the goals of the company.
So I think now you're clear about how a level 5 lead operates or performs within an organization. That should be the benchmark, and that is where we all should look for when we are progressing in leadership. Now, your question may be, the final question that I'm going to ask Glendimel today is, your question may be, am I a level 5 leader? And if you're not, you're wondering, okay, how can I become a level 5 lead? How can I attain that position? So that is what our final question is going to be. If a person recognizes that he is not a level 5 lead, he wants to be a level 5 lead, how can he evaluate and how can he get there? Just enlighten us on that with your final words.
Actually, I mean, first thing is you should not think that you have achieved the highest level of leadership. No one can think like that. If you start to think like that, I am the best leader, I am level 5 leader, then that is the end of your journey. Because every day you have to master your skills, you have to master your performance, the way you think. Every day that is a progressive journey. Therefore, you must always have a thinking that I want to improve my leadership. I want to have more and more insights into my leadership. Now, if you have that tendency, that is the basis to become a level 5 leader. And also, you must think about what is your role in an organization or a company. Now, my role is not doing everything by myself. I am a leader and I have a team, and then I have to make sure that my team members are performing well according to the roles they have to perform. And that for that, I have to give them the opportunities to perform well. I have to support them towards that. Now, if you want to become a level 5 leader, you have to always admire your team members, and also you have to accept that the right people are the best asset of your company. Now, if you have right people in the company and you appreciate them and also you encourage them, then they are going to perform well. And then your leadership also come to a very high levels, because you are not performing like a manager or a normal leader, but you are performing in a higher level as a level 5 leader. And for that, you have to observe and you have to always critically think about your performance. Now, I told that level 5 leaders are always looking at the mirror for failures. Why? They are going to think why this has happened? Why this failure? What did I contribute towards this failure? And if I really critically think about that, then I can really correct those failures and what I have contributed towards that. I can correct myself, and that will help me to improve my leadership style or leadership attributes. And therefore, it's very, very important to be a very, very vigilant and very, very critical and constructive whatever you do, and then work towards the achievement of the organization, and without putting yourself into the front and try to become a showing that you are a celebrity and you are the big man in this whole drama. You have to perform and you have to do a role that is very, very modest and put the company first always. And if you can do that, I think you can become a level 5 leader.
Thank you very much. Here we are. We spoke about a level 5 leader, what is the attributes of a level 5 leader and how you can become a level 5 leader. I'm sure this program has encouraged you and inspired you to become that leader that we just talked about. So thank you very much, Glendimel, for bringing those information, insight to us and inspiring us to become better than who we are really right now. So thank you for joining with us. Keep joining with us. Next week program will be in Sinhala, so invite all the Sinhala viewers to come and join us, and we will be speaking on another aspect of leadership. So thank you. See you in 2 weeks time. Have a blessed day.